Call to action. LGBTQ+ youth need inclusive sex education. Lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, and questioning LGBTQ youth need and deserve to learn in settings that are inclusive to their experiences that give them education necessary to stay safe and healthy. Far too many LGBTQ youth are sitting in classrooms where their teachers and textbooks fail to appropriately address their identities, behaviors, and experiences. Nowhere is this absence more clear and potentially more damaging than in sex education. Sex education can be one of the few sources of reliable information on sexuality and sexual health for youth. Hundreds of studies have shown that well-designed and well-implanted sex education can reduce risk behavior and support positive sexual health outcomes among teens, such as reducing teen pregnancy and sexually transmitted infection rates. For LGBTQ youth to experience comparable health benefits to their non-LGBTQ peers, sex education programs must be LGBTQ inclusive. Inclusive programs are those that help youth understand gender identity and sexual orientation with age-appropriate and medically accurate information, incorporate positive examples of LGBTQ individuals, romantic relationships, and families, emphasize the need for protection during sex for people of all of identities, and dispel common myths and stereotypes about behaviors and identity. Whether legally barred or simply ignored, LGBTQ inclusive sex education is not available for most youth. The GLESN 2013 National School Climate Survey found that fewer than 5% of LGBT students had health classes that included positive representations of LGBT-related topics. Among millennials surveyed in 2015, only 12% of their education classes covered same-sex relationships. In qualitative research conducted by Planned Parenthood Federation of America, PPFA, and the Human Rights Campaign, HRC Foundation, LGBTQ youth reported either not having any sex education in their schools or having limited sex education that was primarily or exclusively focused on heterosexual relationships between cisgender people whose gender matches their sex assigned at birth, and pregnancy prevention in those relationships. Research also showed that LGBTQ youth have a limited number of trusted adults they feel comfortable talking with about sexual health, so they frequently seek information online or from peers. Much of the sexual information online is neither age-appropriate nor medically accurate, and peers may be misinformed. Sex education ought to help close this gap. Both public health organizations and the vast majority of parents agree and support LGBTQ inclusive sex education. 85% of parents surveyed supported discussion of sexual orientation as part of sex education in high school, and 78% supported it in middle school. Sex education is a logical venue to help all youth learn about sexual orientation and gender identity, to encourage acceptance for LGBTQ people and families when sex education is another area where LGBT youth are overlooked or actively stigmatized. However, it contributes to hostile school environments and places LGBTQ youth are at increased risk for negative sexual health outcomes.